Hello, Fargo Court. I'm Badmox. This is my enchantment tier list. I am comfortable with using my voice here. I have used it in the VC text, and I think that I'm comfortable with commentating. And of course, this is not my voice, as I am a bat, and so I'm just having this radio transmit my thought waves into sound, and it ended up as this. Also, it's lame to just type out my arguments defending these enchantments when I can just say what I think about them. And I don't want to bring out the text-to-speech bot again. I don't want to. So, to start describing, we have garbage tier with Wood Enchant. Wood Enchant sucks. Is Wood Enchant useless? I think it is. Just the fact that critters do not explode if they die makes this so bad. You have to distance yourself weirdly, awkwardly close to the enemies to have them work, and really it doesn't do anything good. It's not worth the damage. It's the worst enchantment in the game. There's no reason to use this. Never, ever. So now that garbage is out of the way, let's move on to almost garbage. These enchants are almost in garbage, but have this one microscopic use that's not really make it any better than to be described with almost garbage. The first almost garbage enchantment is Obsidian. This is bad because it gets overshadowed by Obsidian Skin Potions and the Obsidian Skull, both of which protect you from fire and stuff better than this does, because they're less of a grind to get, and Obsidian Skin Potions don't cost an accessories a lot. As for the damage buffs that you get while in lava, have to be in lava, which is inconsistent and very hard and playthrough unfriendly to set up. So overall, this thing is not good. You should not use this ever. Next up, Huntress. This is two things and they both suck. First of all, the Arrow Storm. It's not good at all. It does not do good damage at all, and it takes focus away from the game, because you have to double tap down. I mean, not a lot of focus, but still, the reward isn't worth it. Yeah, and it can be used against Destroyer, I guess, but not very well. The other thing it does is, it makes Explosive Trap Staff, cover your enemies in oil, which makes on-fire debuffs, and it gives them an additive damage bonus, plus 25 every time. How useful. And Explosive Trap Staff, the one that is just lightning or but worse. Yeah, that one. Next in almost garbage, Frost Enchant. And also Snow Enchant. However, this template did not contain Snow Enchant, and I am not going to download all of these images just to make another one just for one enchantment. So just know that Snow Enchant would go right here, I think. So what's wrong with this? Snow Enchant I'll talk about first. Slowing down projectiles near you is not necessarily always a good thing. Sure, it does give you more time to react to projectiles headed towards you. However, projectiles that are, near you, stay near you longer. And that's a bad thing because, if you're falling down and a projectile's moving under you, and you expect it to move under you or pass by, but then it doesn't because it gets slowed down, and you continue falling and you get hit, and that is not a fun thing to happen. And also the radius. I get it. It has to have a radius. It's an aura. But it's so close that at this point, it's not going to save you from much. Snow Enchant is also inaccessible, since not only is there fish, which you can either get with Dreamwalk from Ice Chess or by fishing. I do not like either of those. I do not usually fish pre-boss. I beat a few bosses first, and then get comfortable with the world, really, and just get more mobility before I want to start fishing. And it also has snow armor, which is also pretty inaccessible, since it requires killing a bunch of snow zombies, and, like, really? Would you really do that for this? I don't think anyone would. As for Frost Enchant, this isn't useful either. It adds the icicle effect, which is absolutely useless in every way. You should never go for this. It's a DPS loss. It's just a flat-out DPS loss for no benefit, practically none. Like, oh, you can freeze one target that you could have just killed with DPS, but no, freeze him. You have to freeze him. But what about summoner loadouts where yeah, this mod makes it so that even summoner loadouts have to attack, usually with, in its tier with Bat Scepter summoner. I love bats. Yeah, please rework this. It's not even fun to use. Why does Virgo like using this? What's up with that? Next up is Silver, and it's the last in almost garbage. It spawns an incredibly bad minion. Like, it's slow, it doesn't hit hard, it does nothing, it doesn't help you at all, it does not do anything. It's bad. And also the butterfly is rare as heck. So, you just... Why is this a thing? Why did you add the butterfly that's like 1 in 22 quintillion to get? That makes no sense. And it's bad. Don't get this. Moving up a tier. This is the lame tier. These are lame. All of these are. To start out, lame tier, we have Red Riding, which is Moon-Charm. Since Hunter, or Huntress, is useless, and you should not use Huntress. But Moon-Charm is free melee stats. Very small, but free melee stats. So, I had to move this up. I still would not use this over anything else. But in Force, it's good, I guess, like, versus Mutant and the Bomb for using Force of Will. It's, free melee stats. Hooray. Next up, in lame, is Ninja. This is just, imagine Rod of Discord, but unreliable and stinky. Smoke bombs are incredibly unreliable to use. You need to actually read the future to be able to use this efficiently. Because it takes a lot of time for the smoke bomb to actually teleport you. You could use that strategy where you take off Ninja, which apparently works, but no, that just takes too long. This is accessible when you beat King Slime, which means the next boss is EOC. However, you should never use this enchant during EOC, and that is because if you get hit with Berserked while you are holding a smoke bomb, then you will die. You will teleport around everywhere, and there is no recovering. I learned this the hard way. Next in lame, Gold Enchant. Lame. It's invincibility, but you can't do anything. Wow. Wow. I do know that there is the Prime DG phase skip, but there is another enchant that can also skip Prime DG phase, and that is Orichalcum, or really just DOTs in general, but I like using Orichalcum. And Orichalcum also provides benefits throughout the entire fight, compared to Gold, which doesn't. But that knocks you during that face tank loadout. Use Gold Enchant, it's so useful. And the weird stealth thing also exists too. Getting patched, whatever. Bad. Bad enchant. Dumb enchant. Speaking of that, Monk Enchant. Sure, it's an invincible dash, but it's wonky and bad to use. You need to stop attacking in order to gain this, and I do not think that the risk of DPS loss fits up for its reward. The reward is, of course, the invincible dash, but it's just short. It's not worth it. You dash so many times that you're really likely to blow this invincible dash. So like, yeah, just this thing's useless. I'm sorry. I can't find any way to use it well. Next up in lame, Turtle Enchant. Shell Hide, I am yet to find a use for. Because everything just has contact damage, and you will just get killed by contact damage if you try to Shell Hide. Apparently it also, the shell breaks if it takes enough damage, which is like pretty lame, dude. And Cactus is not as good as it is in Turtle. That's for two reasons. First of all, Thorns gets worse as progression increases, or as the game progresses, so like the maximum amount of damage you can take is like 400 in pre-hard mode, and like 500 in hard mode, but the boss, what I'm saying is as boss health increases, Thorns gets less effective since boss health increases with progression more than the players by a lot. Like, what is Thorns going to do against 30,000 life? I don't think it's going to do much. And, Cactus is just not that good. Or the Thorns are not that good because there's no really good target. I expected this to be good against Plant, but in my testing, it wasn't. The tendrils are just too meaty. And it's lame. So, yeah, there is no reason to use this, really. Cobalt. This is where I introduce a list of enchants that are bad because they try to be a DPS increase, but end up not being. Cobalt is literally just a single burst of crystals. There are better stuff to use than this, since the damage boost given by the crystal is so insignificant. I remember back in like 2018 when this was good, or game breaking, I don't know. But yeah, there's better stuff to use, like an emblem or SDF, or just any other damage boost. Pearl Wood is bad for the same reason. Pearl Wood is not good anymore. It used to be good against Destro, but it's not anymore. Everything's good against Destro. Wait, nah. But it does at least allow for some incline of crowd control, unlike Cobalt, so I had to put it higher. And Apprentice is the best out of the trio. Apprentice gives very good crowd control, but projectile slow, and again, attempt at boosting DPS, they're just better options. Moving on to Meteor. Vortex. Who uses this thing? Why would you use this ever? I mean, it is free in Force Cosmos and its upgrades. However, I just don't use this. You don't need to. I don't see why I would ever use this. If I haven't tested this enough, please check this out. Or please tell me. Next is Ancient Shadow. Yeah, it's these free. Tries to be DPS upgrade, but it's not good. It's good in weaponless, but other than that, I wouldn't use this. I wouldn't recommend using it. Well, actually, the homing is kind of useful, but not that useful. Gladiator. Oh yeah, it's these free, but it's free hard mode, so I think it's better. That's my reason. Rich Mahogany. Hey guys, today I found out that if you combine Rich Mahogany with Wizard, and you go on a track of frozen slime blocks, actually I'm not going to reveal it, Rich Mahogany is, it's impractical, but also kind of practical. It allows you to travel really fast, especially with Bathook, and, but really, do you really need this? Are you really going to use an accessory slot on Rich Mahogany? Because I wouldn't. Adamantine. Meme. It basically complex these dudes. Don't use this. It's not good. It ain't. Chlorophyte. This is less usable than Jungle, since, or the Spore Burst, or the Spore Blast is less usable than Jungle, since this is hard mode. So, you're going to be moving a lot more. And the Leaf Crystals, I don't think are useful. It's just these. Again, attempt at DPS boost, but nothing achieved. Tungsten is the most overrated enchant out of these. Tungsten is not good. It's funny, big stuff, but not good. Impractical. But crits do 15% damage, but nah, better DPS. It's distracting, also. Very distracting. It can distract you easily. Just overall, I always disable this in configs. I would use this. Stardust is a meme. It's more of a fun enchant. I never use this during the Post-Moon Lord boss fights, but it's a funny meme. I did use it against Dookie X because, it, like, allows you to skip a phase, and that boss is just resource management. But, yeah, meme. Absolute meme enchant. Funny. Squire. Squire is significantly less useful than Valhalla. I will just reveal my mindset about this, and that is, or as I have said before, this thing, when it's on, but when it's not, it's a dead accessory slot. So, would you really use this? Like, the options in, pre-Plantera are a lot worse than the options in, post-Golem. And I don't think having, the ability to sometimes ignore iframes is quite as useful as in post-Golem. So that's why it's in meh. It's meh. A Necro. I have to kill DG. Oh my, I expected this to be better against Plantera, like with Turtle, but it didn't. It heals, and it spawns projectile, which, like, sure, projectile could be these, but I don't know. I think it could be better. Speaking of could be better, Forbidden. Remember when this did double damage when for the tornado? Yeah, that was fun. You need to set up in front of the boss in order to use a tornado. The tornado itself doesn't deal good damage, so you just have to. The good thing about this is 30% as projectiles move through it. Looking at what you can use it against, it's post 1 mech, which means you could use it against the mechs or plant, and I didn't really find a use for any of those. It's just too difficult to use, or just complicated to use, which I think invalidates it. Fossil, it's a revive, sure, but it's a last stand one. You're at 1 HP, or wait, are you? I don't know. Wait, no. You can heal up, but you can try to survive, but I just never use this because I think there's better stuff to use than this thing. Like, do you need a revive? What are you gonna die to? You mean that's the main harmful mechanic of the game? I just don't think revives are useful pre-hard mode. It is good against me, sure, but not really good for anything else. Meteor. Meteor is good for Destro. It is slightly good for Pirate Invasion. And it is good against nothing else. This is the Destroyer enchantment. That's it. You can line up the meteors to hit several segments of his body, and it does a ton of damage. But other than that, the meteors are just too spread out to be useful. Like, it doesn't hit much, and in Force of Cosmos, it's not that good either. Which is why Meteor is in meh. If every boss was Destroyer, then this would be the best. But that is not the case. A Tiki Enchant. I am now beginning to realize that maybe you do not need Tiki. I don't think that this is really worth accessory slots. Summoner loadouts are now more focused around direct attacks. So, like with that scepter, and I don't think Tiki's worth using anymore because of that. It might have some meme setups, but I can find better meme setups to use, like with Dracovi Pole Summoner. You can do some memes with that, but Tiki doesn't help it. Shroomite. Apparently this is good. Apparently? Like, I couldn't find that. And there is that one strategy that you guys found, where Golem dies in 2 seconds. But that is definitely getting patched. So, I don't even care about that. Shroomite is meh. It's again, it's these. It's these. And stealth is useless, because you can't stand still. Any mode. Apparently it's good with Mech Leash, but still, I think it would be in meh. Platinum, meh, I've never gotten this, so like, apparently it kinda helps grinding, but looks just like too much of a grind to get when I can just get everything. This mod makes everything easier to get, like, basically everything, and with Battlecry, I just never get this in, like, banner recipes, too. Yeah. I don't think Platinum Enchant is good. Sorry. Rain Enchant. I know that it is kind of a joke here that every few weeks or so we find out a way to insta-kill a boss with Rain Enchant, such as Golem or Destroyer. But really, this thing is difficult to use. Against every boss that isn't Golem and Destroyer and maybe Moonlord, it's hard to line up with them since you have to get them to go under the rain cloud in order for it to deal good damage. The Thunder is useless. It's inaccurate. It doesn't deal good damage. It is not good. I don't like the Thunder. It's not worth going for. So yeah, this is just Nimbus Rod, but skills with your base damage, essentially. And I don't think that is good. Lead Enchant. Bad Cactus Enchant. This thing is, like, it inflicts a DOT, and that's useful for pre-hard mode, but, like, I just use Cactus Enchant instead. Is it even that good? Remember, I believe last time I used it, it was, like, only good for, like, Goblin Army slightly. Yeah, I don't think this is good, like, I'm not saying it's bad because Cactus is better, obviously, that's not a good thing to say, but, like, I don't think this thing is good by itself either. DOTs. At least it's pre-boss. But still. Titanium. Why would you use the enchant? If you really want Shadow Dodge, just use the armor. What else would you use? Like, if you want Shadow Dodge, then Titanium is just the best option because it would provide the most stats. So, I don't think it's worth it to replace an entire accessory slot for it instead, when you can just wear the armor. Shadow Dodge, of course, gets good in E mode, so I don't think it's that useful either, if as just a thing you wear. Yeah, Titanium, a king of mech here, because, like, at least, wait, no, that gets disabled, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't think that this is worth using. Next up is good tier. These are the good enchants, the good stuff. First, Dark Artist. This enchant gets slept on. A Dark Artist is like, it just gives you another thing that attacks. And, like, the amount of crowd control this thing gives is very good. Like, have you guys ever used this against OOA tier 3? Or have you guys ever fought OOA? It's good in that because it, like, makes a really large explosion, which damages everything in a pretty formidable area. And that's good. The thing is also slightly homing, albeit slow, so it can be used against Cultist also. Cultist was the other one I found it to be useful against. Fishron, it is kind of mefo. And Moonlord, obviously, it's Moonlord. Yeah. And Dark Artist Enchant, slept on, but good. And Enforce, people would use Cosmos instead, and sometimes Terra for the dash. Yeah, because those are just better. Like with Terra's, Tin Crits, and Cosmos, boosters. So this gets very missed out in force. Copper and Shadow might as well just reveal that both of them are good for Waffle, but not that great for everything else. I don't really think that there would... Well, actually, Shadow is kind of useful for events, farming events, but not many events. Neither of these are that useful going into hard mode, which sucks because this is a post-Skeletron enchantment. And this, it can fight Skeletron, but would you really use this against Skeletron? Either way, very good against Waffle. Not that good against anything else. Ancient Cobalt. Ancient Cobalt. Oh man. It's a DPS upgrade, which is cooler than Cobalt, because this is pre-hard mode, where barely any DPS upgrades exist, or are specific and niche, and really just, this thing's good if you're missing an accessory slot and you just want extra damage. That being said, it isn't the best DPS upgrade, but it's pretty good. So yeah, Ancient Cobalt, good. Shadewood. This thing gives you an aura in which you have enemies near it, they explode into blood orbs or something. And that's really good for crowd control, since just extra damage everywhere. And for single targets it's good too. Since it just gives extra damage up close. It is an aura, and it's so and you do need to hit enemies to work, which is why it's behind Even Wood. Jungle Enchant. This is also slept on. Staff of Regrowth is fine, sure. However, the real thing is the Jump Cloud. The Jump Cloud is a lingering hitbox. So, like, against some stuff that is slow, like everything in pre-hard mode, this thing is good. Jungle Enchant is good against CLC. Because you can kill the servants by just jumping. And also, if you don't know how to hit him in phase free, you can just jump, and it kills him in like 1.5 charges. This thing is good against CLC. Our only problem is Jungle Rose used in this? And if it's so, then it is a bit inaccessible. Especially when the recipe requires a Dryad. I think. Does it? I forgot. Whatever, it's good. Hollowed. The shield is good. It's basically like just kind of shadow dodge, but doesn't gut your damage. It's just a chance to dodge stuff. It is pretty good. I have used this a lot, and the minion is actually good, I guess, unlike a previous enchantment. It's just a minion and a defensive ability, which I think is nice. Spooky Wood makes a lot of summons that would be bad good. A Xenostaff, for example, sometimes can't hit stuff, and this thing makes that better. And it makes them deal a lot more damage since the scythes do not pierce. So they do not create weird iframes. And, so you can, like, just do a lot of damage to everything, kinda. Yeah, that's really just Spooky Enchant. Just a good enchant. Mining is good. It is mining. Infinite Spelunker. Good. Good enchant. Good. Molten. Molten is slept on. The Inferno Ring does a very good job at keeping things away from you. It does damage them over time, and it, it just, keeps things away from you. Anything in free hard mode. The explosion is also good because it does quite some damage. Does this thing still get good deal times against Destroyer? I forgot. But regardless of that, if you're playing as a melee character, I would very highly suggest using this against Waffle. Because you need to go up close, and that means getting past Hungries. And this thing does an excellent job at keeping Hungries away. Like, the aura is good at damaging them, and the explosion just murders a lot in a wide area. So yeah, good enchant. Good enchant. B enchant. This would be B tier. So this is in B tier. It's basically Ancient Cobalt, but better. I can't really say much more. It's just that. A good DPS upgrade. Yeah, B enchant. A Palm Wood is very good. It is basically pre-hard mode Dark Artist, in the way that it just puts something else on your screen to deal damage. And that is useful, because this does good damage. It's also pre-boss and quite accessible, unless you don't find a breathing reed, since the recipe's gone. That's sad. You can consider adding it back, by the way, since you underestimated 1.4 mod, so you can just add it back like you did with the crates. I don't know. But yeah, good enchant. In my summoner run, I had to rely on this, and it did well. So I think this is a good enchantment. Valhalla is also good. Valhalla, kind of broken right now against a bomb, not gonna lie. But it does have that squire problem, being when it's on, it's on. When it's not, it's a dead accessory slot. However, this thing stays on longer, and the options you have post-golem are much better than the options pre-plant. So this thing is better. By a lot. It's good. Shadewood. This thing does a good job at keeping things away from you, like Molten. This is basically just earlier Molten. It is no longer Spelunker 0.5, unfortunately, but it's still very useful. Just being able to deal like 5 damage every second to nearby stuff, especially when like also through walls, I think, is useful. Like against DOC and his servants, they like to go into you and like approach you very fast. Sometimes you can't react to that, so you just, but even wood right here, it just kills them. Or at least it deals a lot of damage to them. So you can just easily take them out in one hit. Like a Slime Slasher or something. A Cactus, the crowd control master. This thing takes down Goblin Army well. It also takes down King Slime very well. And also EOC. And also B. Also Brain and Eater. This thing is very good for crowd control. When the Thorns explode, they deal loads of damage to nearby things, and it's most of the time it's enough to kill them. So, Cactus is like, it can start chain reactions very well, and sometimes that just decimates entire groups. That is good. Spider Enchant. Spider Enchant is good. Minions critting is good. It's more damage. It allows them to do more damage. It allows them to crit. and that's a lot more damage. So it's good. What more can I say? What more? Orichalcum is the top of the good tier enchantments. Orichalcum allows for DOT loadouts, which is a very nice thing. I often use Orichalcum with Biocluster. That is because Biocluster has like 2 debuffs, Frostburn and the Flames of the Universe, I believe. The Rainbow Slant thing. So it synergizes well with that, and I did use that in Pre-Mech Duke. Yeah, and it's just more DPS. Really just more DPS. But good. Good done DPS. And as mentioned before, it can skip Prime Digi phase. Next up we have cool tier. These enchants are cool, such as Boreal Wood, which is very cold and cool. Boreal Wood, first of all, my god, this thing is accessible. It's the easiest enchant to get in the game. It's usually the first enchant I get in every playthrough. And that's because it's easy to get. Unironically, the hardest thing to get to make this enchant is the one Shiver Thorn. Okay, wow, so yeah. Once you get that, and once you get Painter, then you can craft this thing. As for its actual effect, snowballs are very good. It just, when you shotgun with them, it's a DPS upgrade. But it's actually good, because it's pre-boss, and because it, like, allows you to do a significant boost of damage. Which is good. There's not much more I can say about this. It's just an accessible, enchant with a good effect. That's all. Pumpkin. This thing heals you a lot. It heals you 25 every time you touch a pumpkin, and it's really easy to go back on yourself and just pick up a pumpkin. It's worth it. Like, 25 health, quite a bit, pre-hard mode. It doesn't really do anything significant in damage, but just 25 health for circling. Like, that's the main strategy against Skeletron and a lot of other bosses. So I like Pumpkin. It's cool. Beetle's cool. Just extra flight time in DR. What more needs to be said? That is good. That's good. Flight time is useful against Moonlord because, against Moonlord, you will often find yourself flying for most of the fight. Also good against Fishron, because against Duke, you will often find yourself flying. And it's just DR. It's just good stats. Spectre. Spectre orbs are very good. The lifesteal, obviously, is pretty cool. But the main thing is the attacking Spectre orbs. They do a lot of damage. They add so much damage, like, better than these, for sure. It's in cool tier. As this thing is good and cool. It just makes you do more damage. Angler. Angler is good. Angler makes fishing so much faster. Like, getting this thing might as well be also a free Crystal Serpent and, like, also a free, for anything crafted out of crates. It just makes fishing so much faster. Like, 10 seconds of fishing, and you can get, like, not 10 seconds, more like over a minute, but, and you can get infinite potions in just that amount of time. Yeah, get Angler. Always get Angler in every playthrough. Doesn't matter what you're doing, unless you're doing, like, no water, which is, like, okay, cool. Next up, Tin Enchant. Tin isn't cool and not the best, because sure, it's a huge damage increase to be dealing crits all the time. However, it's not in the best because you need to be really good at the game. Like, if you get hit, it takes a while to regain all that crit. And you can't always just not get hit. Or you can, but with a lot of skill. So, overall, I do think that this should be nerfed because the reward is too much. However, the risk is also pretty big, and that's why it's cool. Very good enchant overall. Mithril. Mithril makes your attacks a lot faster. At the cost of, you can't get hit. Otherwise, you go slower for some time. Your attacks go slower. That is unfortunate, because in some fights, you can become very inconfident in your ability to avoid for a long amount of time, and not use this enchant, like opt out of it. However, as a benefit, it's just more DPS to everything, like these, but good. DPS upgrade, but good. And that's good. Solar. Or all of these free. They're dashes. That's it. They're dashes. They're in cool tier because they're dashes. Yeah. Of course, Shin Info has the two worst enchants. Two very bad enchants, but like Master Ninja Gear. It's a dash. They're dashes. Iron Magnet is also very good because synergizes very well with this thing. And just is a convenience overall, because it makes picking up stuff easier. Parry's good too, I guess. Sure, it's free invulnerability. What could go wrong with that? Alright, it's finally time for the best. These are the best. These free are the best enchantments in the game. Starting with Crimson, insane regen. It allows for a new play style of playing safe after you get hit, so you can heal off and just immediately get back all that stuff that you lost. Regen is very easy in this mode because not only are there omnisations in hard mode, but also in pre-hard mode. There's a lot of regen buffs like infinite regen, infinite well-fed, and heart lanterns are also easier to get because chaos dropping life crystals. So yeah, regen loadouts with this thing are busted. Next thing is Palad. Palad is also a regen accessory, and it basically just gives you extra regen the entire fight. Like, that's the only important thing to know. When are you not going to be attacking? Like, if you use this thing, but sure, but when are you not going to be attacking with this? Always, it's just permanent regen. Also the orb thing, which exists. Slightly more damage. But overall, this thing is good. This thing heals you so much. And the best of the best, the best enchant, is Nebula. Insane damage boost. Meta-defining damage boost and insane regen. It's damage and regen, the two best stats to increase. These all increase regen, or this one gives you better regen. So, notice a pattern here? Maybe regen should be nerfed, I don't know. I did notice that it can give good regen during even mutant, like, since it's on during mutant. And it's also damage. It's damage and regen. Very good damage and very good regen. It is the best of the best. It's the best enchant in the game. And you don't even use this in its enchant form, since you usually just instantly upgrade it to Force of the Cosmos, but still, in Force, it's good. And that is my enchantment tier list. I hope this was entertaining, and if it was, please tell me how bad my opinions are. I hope you laughed at me because my opinions suck, or whatever, unless you think my opinions were good. In that case, leave a... What? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, Wizard Enchant goes in cool. I forgot that this wasn't in the tier list. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please consider buffing these.